Hi everybody, thanks for watching. So today I'm going to show you guys how I do a motion time lapse with the Mavic Air. Now I love to do time lapses. I think they're one of the coolest things that you can do with your drone, and it's actually pretty easy to do. I do them all the time with my Mavic Pro, and I've tried it just a few times with the Mavic Air. So I want to show you guys how I do that. So let's get the Mavic Air up in the air and get right to it. First of all, welcome to the channel. If this is your first time stopping by, I really appreciate it. My name is Russ, and this is 51 Drones. And if you're interested in learning more about the Mavic Air and the Mavic Pro and seeing all kinds of tutorials and comparisons between them and seeing some videos on some other things, for instance, I just got the Osmo Mobile 2, so I'm excited to check that out and show you guys all about it. Go ahead and click on that subscribe button. So like I said, time lapses are super fun to do, and they're actually pretty easy to do. And today what I'm going to show you guys is how I do a motion time lapse. And basically what I'm going to do is I'm just going to record. I'm going to hit the record button, and then I'm going to have the drone fly laterally, and then I'm going to put that on the computer. I'm going to speed it up, I'm going to stabilize it, and show you guys really how easy it is. So let's get the Mavic Air up in the air. We're going to go ahead and engage the precision takeoff because I'm launching from my deck right now, and there's quite a bit of snow yet. I have a little table there, I have my tripod, so I want to make sure that if it has to come back home, it's going to come right back to where I launched it from. So I'm going to go ahead and slide. And we're going to go to about right there. Now there's just a couple of things that you have to set before you start doing your time lapse. So let's go into the settings, and the first thing that you want to make sure is that it's set to manual rather than auto, because what's going to happen is if you have it on auto and any kind of slight lighting changes are really going to be showing up in that final time lapse. And so you want to make sure you have it on manual, set your ISO as low as possible, and then just adjust your shutter speed until the image looks great. Now it says that it's overexposed just a little bit, but actually that looks pretty good to me, so I'm just going to leave it right there. You know, if it is a little bit overexposed, I can also correct that a little bit in post-production. So once you have that set, you're going to go into your camera settings, and I'm going to shoot this in 2.7K. Now if you want, you can shoot in 4K. That's going to take a lot of memory, it's going to take a lot more processing, but the benefit of shooting in 4K is that you have a much bigger image to work with when it comes to stabilizing your footage, and 2.7 is still pretty good. And you can also do it with 1080p, but that's really going to limit the final size of your final time lapse, because if you have a lot of shakiness in your footage, it's really going to have to crop that down. And so if you can start with a larger one, a larger image size, then that's great. But I'm just going to choose a medium, 2.7K and 60 frames per second. Video format's MP4. The white balance is cloudy because it's a pretty gloomy day today. The style, I'm going to choose landscape. And then for color setting, I'm just going to leave it on none. The next thing that you need to do is engage the intelligent flight mode of tripod. And so right now we're in tripod mode, and that's really going to help correct for a lot of the wind that's going to shake your drone. Now, it's not going to correct it completely, but it certainly will help a lot. And then the other thing is, what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit the record button, and then all I'm going to do right now is I'm going to hold that right stick over to the right for the entire duration of this video. And so I'm going to be switching fingers, because what actually happens is your thumb gets kind of cramped up from holding that stick for 10 minutes straight. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to fly laterally right along the highway here, and I'll probably shoot it for about 10 minutes, maybe a little bit less, and then I'll bring it down and I'll take the SD card out and put it in the computer and show you guys how I edit this. Okay, so we got our footage, and I got about 10 minutes of video there. And so what we're going to do, we're going to turn that into probably about a 10-second motion time lapse. Now the fun thing about using the tripod mode is not only does it help stabilize your drone, but you can also play with it a little bit. You can increase your elevation or decrease your elevation as you're moving to the right or to the left, and it looks really cool. But today I just left it level just to show you guys the easiest way to do it. So let's take the footage, put it into the computer, and show you guys how I edit it. All right, so now we have the video files transferred onto the computer. I put them in this little folder here called Motion Time-Lapse Tutorial. Guys, just a little reminder, don't forget to subscribe. If you want to learn more about the Mavic Air and the Mavic Pro, see all kinds of tutorials and comparisons and some videos on some other things too. Go ahead and click on that subscribe button. So first thing we're going to do here is we're going to go ahead and open up Adobe Premiere Pro CC. Now this is going to sound a little bit like a commercial for Adobe Premiere Pro, but I promise you it really isn't. Basically, you guys, when I started my YouTube channel, pretty much a beginner when it came to editing videos. You know, I worked a little bit with Cyberlink Power Director, which is a program you can get for about 80 bucks. And I did some video editing on that, and it's really simple, really easy to use, but really didn't have the functionality of what I was looking for my YouTube channel. And so I did some research. I looked at some of the free things, you know, like DaVinci Resolve, and I think the other one was called Hit Film Express or something like that. And, you know, they were okay, but they were kind of confusing. And also, when it came down to it, to get the really cool stuff, you had to pay extra. So even though they're free up front, to get the cool features on them, you had to pay for those cool features. And so I finally decided on Adobe Premiere Pro CC. You know, I pay a monthly fee, and I get Adobe Premiere Pro. I have Photoshop and Lightroom, and I pay one fee for all of those, and it's pretty inexpensive. And the best thing, you guys, what made me do it is, you know, you get a 30-day free trial. And during those 30 days, I played with it almost every day. I watched all kinds of YouTube tutorials. And pretty much after maybe about 4 days, I decided this is what I wanted to use. So I went ahead and got the subscription. So you guys, if you want the most powerful program, and you can try it for 30 days, there's a link in the description and you can check it out for free. If you don't like it, then just try something else. But you guys, I promise you, if you try it, you're gonna want to get it. So, all right, that's enough for my commercial. We're gonna go ahead and click on New Project right here, and we're gonna name this Mavic Air Motion Time-Lapse Tutorial. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and click on OK, and that's gonna bring up our workspace right here. And now what we need to do is we need to import those video files. And right there they are, 198, 199. And so we're going to choose both of those and put them into the project. And then the next thing we're going to do is drag these right over here to the timeline, and that's going to create a sequence for us. And we don't even have to do anything else. It does everything for us. So we're going to put both of those videos in there. You know, the Mavic Air can only store a certain amount of cache space. And once it gets to that full space, it has to start over recording. You don't lose anything. You know, it looks like two different clips, but really it is just one video file. It stops recording and immediately starts recording right away. And so that's why you're going to get multiple files. You know, if you record in 2.7K and especially in 4K, you're going to get multiple files. But anyway, there's both of our files. Now, normally what I would do at this point is I would do some color grading. And how I would do that is I go over here to Lumetri Color, and right here's all your options to change your exposures and your contrast and all that. Now, I'm not going to do any of that with this video because I think I want to make it quick and I don't want to spend too much time on that. So you guys, if you want to learn how I do my color grading, you know, let me know in the comments and I'll show you another video on how I do that. But for now, I'm just going to skip that. I'm just going to leave this file just as it is. Now, first thing we need to do is we need to speed this up. You know, this is a 10-minute video, and what we're looking for is about an 8-second, maybe a 10-second video. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight both of these, and I'm going to right click on them and click on speed and duration. Now right now it's at 100%, and let's go with 7,000% and see what that looks like. Now that's going to spread these apart, so I'm just going to drag that over there. And let's check it out, see what kind of time we have here. And it looks like about a 8.5 second time lapse. So that's about where we want it to be. And so what I'm going to do, the next thing is I'm going to highlight both of these, and then I'm going to nest it. So I'm going to right click, and right here it says nest. And what that does is it makes a brand new file and allows us to put the warp stabilizer on there. So if you watch it right now, it's going to be kind of warbly, kind of wobbly, And actually, I think what we're going to do right now is we're going to set an in point. So we're going to hit I, and then we're going to go over here and set an out point. Oops, I messed that up. In point, out point, and then we're going to render that just so we can watch it and see what it looks like. So we're going to render into out, and this is going to take just a second, so I'm going to speed it up. Okay, so now it is rendered, and I'll just show you guys what that looks like. And so here is our motion time lapse. Now, as you can see, it's not terrible, but see how it's warbly and it's jumping all over the place. You know, so we could, you know, theoretically we could stop right here and this could be our time lapse. But, you know, we have one of the most powerful video editing programs, and so we're going to make this even better. Let's watch it one more time. I just want to show you guys how it's kind of, just because of the wind and, you know, and the Mavic Air, you know, it's not quite as stable as the Mavic Pro. It does a pretty good job, but there is kind of a lot of up and down and a lot of warbly movements. And so what we're going to do is we're going to fix that. And we're going to go over here to Effects, and we're going to type in the word Warp. And that's going to bring up right here. It's called Warp Stabilizer VFX. And we're going to drag that right onto the file. And then we're going to click on Effect Controls, and it's going to show you the progress right here. And so what it's doing right now is it's analyzing the video. It's looking at each and every frame, and it's kind of determining, you know, how to stabilize this footage. And so it's doing some stabilization, and then it's going to do some cropping and some shifting of the borders to make it look much more stable. So I'm going to go ahead and speed this up as well. All right, so once it has finished stabilizing, you can go ahead and watch it. Now it's probably going to have to be rendered again, so I'm going to go ahead and do that right now. So I'm going to speed this up again. Okay, so once that is rendered, now I'm going to show you guys what it looks like, and it's just amazing how powerful this thing is. Look at that. It's rock steady. It's straight on. There's no more wobbling around, and it just looks great. As comparison, I'm going to show you a clip here of the unstabilized footage. Look at that difference. And here is the stabilized footage again. So isn't that just cool? I just love it, you guys. And you guys can just check it out yourself for free for 30 days. So download that Adobe Premiere Pro CC. And so when we're done with that, if you want to go ahead and add a little bit of music to it, I'm going to go ahead and import a little song here. Let's find something kind of epic and you know, might fit a time lapse really cool. And then what you do is you drag your music over underneath into the audio clip right here, and let's spread this out a little bit. I think we'll start it right here, and we're gonna move that over. Now let's go ahead and play it, see what it sounds like, see what it looks like. Now that's pretty cool, right? So you guys can put your own music in there. You can you know, do whatever you want, and that's the coolest thing about this. And so just a really quick video tutorial on how to do a motion time lapse with your Mavic Air. I hope you guys got something out of that. I hope you got something of value. If you did, please click on that thumbs up button. Let me know that you liked it. Again, subscribe if you want to learn more about the Mavic Air and Mavic Pro, and become a part of a really fun drone community. So click on that subscribe button. I want to thank you guys sincerely for watching, and as always, fly safe and fly smart.